Hey everybody, it's November 19th. Welcome to episode number 19 of LivLive. And this is a first because we actually have more than two people here. So really excited to welcome a big chunk of our design team, Maddy, Sara, Pyetra, and Arthur. Thank you guys for being here. I got to get this thing going on Instagram. For some reason, it didn't start. So I'm going to let you guys chat while I do that. So why don't you guys just start introducing yourselves? Who wants to go first?
Go for it, Maddy.
I'm Maddy. I work in our North Carolina area, and I help support the Chicago team, and I'm a project designer for LivCo.
Awesome. Sara, how about you?
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
I'm Sara. I've been on here before, but I'm the director of design for LivCo, and I've been with the company for almost 9 years now. So I know a little bit about just about everything LivCo.
And a licensed architect too, right?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I should lead with that.
But everyone here is from architecture school, isn't that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. So this is kind of our architecture trained team. So we're all a little bit off. With that, Pyetra.
I'm Pyetra. I have been working at LivCo for a little bit, and I'm working at the design team with the design team. So working feasibility majority of the time.
Very cool. And then we got Arthur.
Last but not least, I'm Arthur. I am the design build manager. I am also a licensed architect in Brazil, not in here yet, but and yeah, I've been with LivCo for a little bit, and helping everywhere I can.
Yeah, and it's cool. And you and Pyetra started with LivCo around the same time. You're both from Brazil too, right?
Yeah, that was a fun coincidence.
Yeah. And so I think we have some viewers from Brazil. Hopefully we keep that going. We're international now. So we have a whole group here. So we thought we'd have a little bit of fun and actually share a current design for a project that's in concept, which we call our feasibility design process. This particular project is in Orland Park. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I believe we're dealing with most of the floors in the house for the most part. It's a pretty extensive project, pretty unique project. I haven't really seen it. Sara and Pyetra, you guys obviously have seen it because you designed it and built it three-dimensionally. Maddy, were you involved in this when you were here? No? So have you seen this at all either?
No, I have not.
And Arthur, because Arthur works mostly in the detailed design. So once the concept is there, he's trying to figure out how to make it actually happen. So you're not really too familiar with it either.
No, haven't seen it yet.
So who knows? This might be a little bit of a reaction video. I'm sure it'll all be positive because we don't design anything that's not awesome. So I'm excited. Sara, do you want to kind of lead us through it as I pull it up? Should I start with the existing conditions here?
I can. I think Pyetra might want to join in too. So I could give a little bit of a background just of the homeowner needs and kind of some of the challenges or the philosophy we had going into it. But then I'll let Pyetra kind of lead the way on how it actually came to fruition here. But homeowners are a young family. It's a family of four. They live in was this early 2000s development house in Orland Park. And the kitchen just isn't working for them. It's a oddly divided existing floor plan, a lot of columns, some strange 45-degree angled walls in certain places. And just in terms of the modern flow and the day-to-day life of the young family, like it just wasn't working. So there were a couple other areas that they wanted to target. But the kitchen and opening up that plan was kind of priority number one. And number two, they were trying to get a first floor mudroom up to the second floor for laundry space. So reworking the second floor primary suite came into play just because we had to find some place for that laundry room. We did propose some work in the basement. It wasn't too extensive. They have a beautifully finished basement, all DIY work, but really high level finish. And then they were just looking for a way to add a bathroom down there. So we did propose a little bit of work down there, but the style is all theirs and going to stay the way it is in the basement, at least. One of the fun, unique aspects of these homeowners is that they really love the color black, and they wanted the color black integrated in as much of the design as possible. So I know we work with black colors.
I think we're seeing more and more of that, don't you?
I think it is more
From the
trendy, like
deeper-
black
deeper
cabinetry.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
We're definitely seeing more and more of that. It has a certain elegance to it that's kind of cool. Deep dark woods.
It's the
a little
whole
bit of
Apple,
contrast.
the whole Apple
It's a what?
tendency, right? The gray, whites, and blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
black
it's-
cabinets are very.
Go ahead, Pyetra.
Oh, sorry. I feel like black cabinets is very elegant, but like it was a little bit trying to balance the black cabinets with black doors, black windows, black flooring. It's just it's a lot of black. So when do you stop? Because otherwise it's too heavy, too dark, and it's not elegant anymore. So that was one of the challenges of like making it look nice, even though everything is kind of like more dark and black.
Yeah, and I want to go to the actual design proposal in just a minute. But this is just looking through this kitchen design. This isn't uncommon for houses in the 80s, 90s, or even 2000s. Your basic work triangle is jammed on this one side. So everything that you're doing is happening. So it's actually functionally a very small kitchen because it's all just going on right here. You got a dishwasher next to a range, microwave. All of your functions happen right here. And then you have some prep space. And then an island that's not big enough to seat people. And then our favorite, the classic 90s desk, which this is literally how these are used because it's just a landing space for a bunch of stuff. Amazon deliveries, maybe it's just where stuff goes. So probably our number one request from projects in this era or house kitchens in this area is like, we got to get rid of this desk. This could be really usable storage space. So
that
I imagine
really full circle though. I'll say
Yeah.
like when COVID was coming around, we had people who were asking for more near the kitchen work areas, but like having
Yes.
it directly in the kitchen just wasn't functional for a lot of people. But for a while they were going away completely. But then as work from home became more prevalent, then it was like, well, it would be great if like our working area was kitchen adjacent or something like that, but like not in the kitchen because you can't really get anything done there.
The return of the tchotchke table is something that we hear a lot, right? A lot of people is always wanting, I want that, organized chaos table that I can throw everything, but it's going to be in there. It's not in the living room.
Drop zone, yeah.
Yeah, and be able to close it off so you don't have to look at
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
Because we all have stuff. There's no question. We just don't want to have to live in it. And then, in reality, when you have a desk in a kitchen with a chair at it, and then you sit down and you're staring at a wall, most people would rather just sit at the island and open your laptop. So, there's been a big shift there. Really unique stuff in this house, too, with this. Do we know what's going on in this structure? It's kind of crazy, right?
Not completely. I think we were talking to the homeowners when we first showed them the design, and they were really nervous about like, well, can we get rid of all these columns? And Pyetra started looking at it. Then she called me over, and then we eventually called Scott over because he also lives in the area and is kind of familiar with this development area. And we can't, there are certain areas where we're really not 100% confident we know exactly which direction the framing is going. But we had I would say a high level of educated confidence that the columns we proposed removing can be removed.
Yeah, there's a lot of columns there. It's just and they shape the whole space. They are thick, they are like big, they don't have It's almost like it's not part of the house, but it's there. It's just like they didn't intentionally design in a way. It seems like it. So that was, I guess, our biggest challenge. Removing the columns, or even trying to make them part of the space.
Oh yeah. Like the ones you're looking at right now, Dave, the two that are kind of like closest to that kitchen, they really define an entry, but you'll see once we get into the design, those two go, they're gone. So we're hopeful that we used our training properly in figuring out that those weren't too critical. And once you get into, if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of like floor plans and looking at the basement and overlaying stuff, we're pretty sure those aren't critical to the structure.
Oh, Dave, you're muted. Just
Oh,
Yeah, he is.
thanks.
How long have you been talking,
Yeah.
Dave?
Did you guys mute me on purpose?
I didn't.
No, I think that's, yeah, and being able to study in the basement and trying to understand how these things are built, we try and do our best to figure it all out at the end of the day. Some things are just built in strange ways. So we'll figure that out once we open it up.
Yeah.
We can usually add structure. We can figure out a way to make pretty much any design work, I think. So I don't really see a column line here. Who knows?
Exactly.
We'll find out.
I mean,
So
that's the other thing. Oh, sorry.
Figure out once we get into detail.
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
yeah, that
Exploratory
sounds like an
demo is
Arthur problem.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I will figure it out.
And then Arthur's going to make it a Rob problem.
Pretty much, yeah.
No. That's the whole idea. They're all trying to work together early.
Yeah. We don't pass
cool.
the buck at LivCo.
Nope. One team. With that, should I share the design here? And
Go
what you
for
guys
it.
are proposing? All right.
Yeah,
There's
let
that. Let me
Pyetra
switch up.
show it off.
It looks like the rendering didn't open yet. So while that opens, Pyetra, do you want to?
oh shoot. Okay.
To give you-
Sure.
I'm opening it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Set the stage, Pyetra. What are we?
Yeah,
about
set the
to
stage.
Okay, so as everyone could see, the biggest challenge was the columns. As soon as you enter the house, like there's no direction because the columns are making the direction of the walkway and hallway and all it. Like you can split in 3-4 different ways. You can go up the stairs or in one lounge room, in one dining room. It was just very confusing not having like a path for you to go through the house and like a proper way to move around the house in a way, I would say. So the biggest challenge was the columns. As soon as we entered the house, that was one thing that we wanted to like, okay, we need to figure this out. And it was funny because for me, the first column, the one in the right side, you can't see right now because that's what we proposed, but like the existing where it used to be like in that diagonal area. Anyways, that was my biggest issue. Sara was the two closer to the kitchen. So we knew removing the columns was one of the things that we wanted to do to have a cleaner look. And then the second one was just making the columns look purposely there, like part of the design, part of like an accent. I don't know, it's just, we want it to be part of the design and not just like, oh, you're placing columns there because we need structurally. So the idea was that what if we wrap those columns in wood and then just have slat walls right next to it, make a path where we have like a foyer, and then you can either go straight where you see the breakfast nook. It's also like part of this focal point. And then in case you don't want to go straight, you could go towards the lounge, towards the dining area. You have either way to go, but it's more like it's more directed.
There's the rendering.
Yeah, so here's our rendered view. So Pyetra, to your point, so these are the existing columns that we've now proposed creating a little bit more purpose and openings and different layers of transparency into different spaces, right? It really defines this as more of an entrance.
Yeah, and now that's a foyer, like before, what was that space? Now that's definitely a foyer. At the end of the walkway, you see the coat closet. So, it's a more defined way where people like, no, okay, I just go straight, hang my coats over here. It's just, it's more purposely made in a way.
I think that's
And
the
the floor.
first.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Let's just
Go
say I
ahead.
think that's the first thing I noticed when you opened up the Matterport model is the circulation around the first floor. It's just an extension of hallway going into a spiral. And looking at this immediately, I can tell that the circulation throughout the house has been redirected, and it's not just an extension of hallway with no real like function or purpose. It's extending into a space. I also love how you kept the kitchen in the same location. That it's still, you can see the front door while you're in the kitchen and cooking and cleaning, but it still feels a little bit private, so that if someone is knocking on your front door and you don't want to answer, you could definitely hide back there too.
Yeah, that's what I like about the slat wall, because you kind of
Yes.
get that screening feature until you're kind of in those spaces. And I don't know, like going back to what Pyetra was saying about the columns, we were talking about this with the homeowners too. Like, I don't know if Dave, you want to see the flip to the existing floor plan on Matterport at all, but like one of the ones we had the most difficulty with, or like the one that we wanted to move the most, was it's a little weird to see there, but like you could see that triangle of columns off the foyer or off the entry, and we
Yep.
really wanted
Right here.
Yep. And like that the middle one that's in between the living room and the dining room, the one that's offset like to the right, that makes the third point of the triangle. The homeowners were really surprised. They're like, "Are you sure that's not structural?" And we're pretty confident that it's not. And as far as we could tell, the only reason they did that is because of the way the stair comes down at a 45
Right.
degree angle, and they wanted to make sure the path is very clear all the way around it with good clearances. So when Pyetra proposed just kind of straightening that out and making that column go away, one of the key features that she did was she just kept it very open in between the two remaining columns. So even though it's not like this defined 45 degree turning path, it's still very open around it. And even the homeowners kind of called it out too. They're like, it just seems so narrow there. And it's actually just a optical illusion that with the tile, it looks like the path is narrow, but it's all open around there. So we kind of had to do some fun like walkthrough rendering with them to kind of show them like, no, we didn't close it off. It's just that straightened path looks more narrow, when in reality it's not. The space is still open. Really weird.
It's interesting that they incorporated that triangle column when they could have just left it as an open space between the two.
But I think that's
interesting.
exactly the point, right? I think that the whole idea is that if you look at this and you pretend that there's a wall between the top and the bottom column, you don't have enough clearance, or you don't have enough space in front of the stairs. So the whole idea when they designed this had to be, give it a little more space, give it a little more breathing room. And then how do we end that flooring, the wood floor inside the dining room? Just slap a column in there, and we'll call it a day and pretend that this whole triangle matches what the stairs are, right?
Yeah.
Which is
pretty
an
wild.
interesting design choice.
And I think we've done it before, where sometimes the solutions to too many columns is actually more columns.
Yeah.
But like creating a purpose to them and a repetition, or some we reorganize them.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, that's kind of what we did, because it's not that we got away with all the columns. We added some, like that first column right there. Oh, you passed. It's okay.
The one that's in black.
This is where the triangle was, right?
Between the two wood columns.
Between the two wood columns.
Oh, between these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and creating this main axis, and I love the whole idea of the flooring change too, because we often, forget we don't, but other design teams often forget how we can define space with both horizontal floors and also ceilings. So this is a really, really nice notion here.
I think
and the access.
Bringing up too is that their existing house, the columns, regardless of how many they were all wrapped in drywall and white, right? The same color as the ceiling. And you adding the wood paneling around them, it gives them an intentional, like it gives them a purpose, right? It's not something that's just blended in with the ceiling, because yeah, sometimes, you know, as a design choice, we want to blend things in so it doesn't, you know, call attention. But those columns are getting our attention regardless, right? It's not that we can blend them. So making them, you know, intentional and showing them off rather than trying to hide them gives a little more perspective too, I think.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there are also some interesting like trim details in the existing house that just, you know, style wise were questionable. I don't even know how to describe how they fit in, but like all of the drywall have rounded corners like everywhere.
Right.
So those columns are rounded, and then it's even further accentuated with the base trim. If you want to go back to the Matterport real quick, Dave, like they have all these corner, I don't even know if you would call them like plinth blocks, but like all those columns have these little curved corner pieces that to me feel like almost like baby proofing, you know, sharp corners.
Yeah, they do. They look like bumpers.
Yeah, they look like bumpers around everything. So like just cleaning up some of those with some straight corners and straight edges just add a level of sophistication that I think they were really excited about. It's just an unusual trim. It almost makes it look like every single corner is on a little leg.
Yeah.
You know, like everything is just standing on these little legs or little bumpers everywhere. It's unusual. I've never seen that before. But it was I mean, it goes to show you just how changing some of the trim or eliminating it in some areas just can really like polish stuff up.
And the shoe is wood, so it emphasized that bumper corner even further.
I know. It's so interesting.
It is interesting.
Going back to Dave's point about like ceiling and flooring, also like we decided to use fake beams. So the existing house right now doesn't have the beam across the ceiling over there, the one that you can barely see right there. Yeah.
Let me turn around.
Yes.
There you go. Yep.
So they don't have those exposed beams right now. We are proposing those just exactly for the reason to define space. So like as soon as we have those beams there, we can define where the kitchen ends, where the dining starts, where the foyer ends. So it's just like proposing some different materials either on the floor or also adding some type of structure in the ceiling just to define space instead of adding walls, because we don't.
It gives the sense of a separate space, even though it's the same space, right? That's the interesting part.
Yeah. And you're emphasizing. Sorry.
Go ahead, Maddy.
I was just going to say, I feel like you're emphasizing and also playing off of the columns and the slat wall too, instead of trying to cover it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even like for the slat wall, we proposed to them like we can do the pivot ones, which is something that we have been talking about. It's just like if they wanted to close off, they could. It's nice because you can see the slat wall from all different four points of view. So depending on the point of view that you're looking at, and if it's straight, it looks like a solid wall. If they don't want that look, they could have the pivot and then just angle accordingly. Like right there, it looks like a solid wall, right? So like if they want to shift a little bit or like a 45-degree angle or something like that, it would make it look like a slat wall, which is nice of like the whole new pivot slat wall.
It's a really nice connection between the dining room and the kitchen too, especially with the new kitchen orientation.
Yeah.
It's like you're just naturally gonna be here instead of it just being the separate dining room that no one ever goes in. And then you have a more casual seating here, but this, even with the island turning and having this relationship, I think is a really nice notion. And talk to me about the kitchen plan. Pretty drastic change for the better, don't you think?
Yeah, I love it. Like I said, it became my favorite project. So kitchen cabinets. One of the things that we were talking about is that we removed that whole wall. So that whole wall was full of cabinets. How do we gain
where the desk was and those tall cabinets?
The desk was right here, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So and they use all the cabinets. So we wanted to maintain at least like the majority of it, or even give a little bit of a pantry space, something like that. The island came from inspiration. Like they really liked this island style where it has like the waterfall and the L shape ish. So that was what set up the whole design. Like I wanted to give something similar to what they were showing on the inspirations, and then after that was just laying in a way like where the fridge goes, where the sink goes, and all of that. I love putting the sink next to a window. I think it's a very nice feature, so that's probably where I started, like placing the sink there, and then okay, now where does the range go, and having the triangle like to make it functional. um so what I personally really like is the fact that they have a whole island to prep, and all the appliances. It's next to a wall. It's at the wall. No, next to a wall. How do you say it?
On the wall.
On the wall? Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Prepositions. So yeah, so that they can easily just, and also one of the things that they asked us for was to have a kitchen that was large, had wide enough hallways where two people could cook at the same time. So that was one of the things as well. Like we wanted to have, okay, how do we make this work? If somebody's prepping, somebody else can still be using the range, the sink, and the fridge, because it's like it has like you have enough space for that. So yeah.
Very cool. All right, I haven't been upstairs yet. Should we go upstairs? There's a bathroom up there, right?
There is a bathroom.
Oh,
Ah,
I guess I can take this. I'll take the steps.
there you go. Sure.
Whoa! Wee. All right, which way?
To the right.
Right.
To the right.
There you go.
Whoa.
Can you stop there? Can
Yeah, stop right there.
Step right
Can you-
here.
a
Yeah.
little bit? Yes. And then can
Yep.
you go to existing condition? I think it's the best way to.
Yeah.
I can try.
Because that
I can
entryway
try.
changed.
That yeah, that was one of the biggest
Okay.
moves.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another 45-degree angle wall
Yep.
for no reason.
Okay, so now, so that's where we were, and now,
We're-
yeah.
There
Now
we
we
go.
got right angles.
Now we have
So
the good use of the
this-
space.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
yeah, and you were able to grab more floor space. So laundry moved upstairs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
we
was the
wanted
whole thing.
so that was the whole thing, like bringing the laundry to the second floor. They do have a big bedroom, like the primary bedroom. It's very large. So we wanted to take a little bit of space from the bedroom. Unfortunately, the ceiling is not vaulted. How is it, the ceiling, Sarah?
It's a tray ceiling.
Yeah.
So we ended up not moving anything around the walls of the bedroom. Even the homeowners were like, yeah, we totally get it. It's a massive space on that second floor, but they didn't, we were up against a budget, right? If any move to the wall between the sleeping area and the other spaces would require some kind of ceiling reframing to recenter that tray. And it just really becomes a domino effect at that point for what? So one of the kind of restrictions we put on ourselves, or Pyetra put on herself, is, if can we get them everything they need without affecting the bedroom? And the other restriction I forgot to mention on the first floor is it's a masonry house. It's all brick. So moving windows was something we were trying not to do. It just gets a little more expensive, a little more complex, even though it's painted brick. They had just done some trim details, some painting around all of their window openings on the outside of the house that they didn't want to undo. So, these interior remodels, sometimes those are the, so not only are you limited within the exterior walls, but sometimes you've got like the openings too, that like, nope, we're not moving any of those either.
And is this a skylight?
And
Yes.
that one's existing.
So that exists, yeah. And
That
I'm
was
not gonna go into the Matterport of people's bathrooms, but
That was a good
is this
idea.
this is the same footprint?
no, it changed it slightly. So that was one
Okay.
of the slightly. I'm being generous.
Slightly, no such thing.
The skylight was one of the holding points as well. It's a huge skylight. It's awesome. Like the amount of light that comes through, it's amazing. But because it's huge, we couldn't move the walls where we wanted, or at least like we had to be mindful that whatever where we move the wall, we would have to be within this skylight lines in a way. So what we decided to do was just to push forward a little bit of the. It's just harder to explain without the mouse. Anyway, the vanity we decided to have at a wall there, where we would have the double vanity and the makeup area. Behind the vanity now it's his closet. Existing it's not like that. His closet is where the angle
Laundry
wall
room.
was. Yeah, where the laundry room currently is right now. So
Okay, I see.
yeah, so
Over
his
here.
closet is right there. We took his closet to use as a laundry, and then now his closet is behind the vanity wall. So before they used to have the window and the skylight, and then because the skylight is huge and it gives a good amount of light already, we decided that like, okay, what if the window goes for the closet and then we have the skylight still?
So you're doing a his and hers, and then he gets the window and she gets more storage, more hanging space.
Yes, but his closet actually is a little smaller, and because of the window, you don't get as much hanging space on the wall. So they decided that would be fine.
That's not that's between them.
Yeah,
exactly.
They have to shake that out on their own.
I know.
So then I just want to add a little bit on the angle wall. One thing why I personally hate angle walls is because it takes off so much space for no reason the majority of the time. So removing the angle wall just allowed us to have a bigger closet-ish, because like right now it's the laundry, but where was this closet? And it was very tiny. Right now it's a good amount. It's a good size, and it allowed us to get a linen closet that they didn't have in their home. So like that was just because we straight up a wall, So it's walls just take up a lot of space.
And if you go into the bedroom side, Dave, I know it's not furnished or rendered really either. Yeah, and then just turn around so you could see that where the door is. Yep, and pull back just a little bit. Yep. So where the angle wall used to be cutting off that entire corner on the left. So now we've created a usable corner in the bedroom where they could get another dresser in there. And then the linen closet that we just saw in the hallway, one of the things that we talked about, it's a big closet. So what we proposed is we could even put a door on the bedroom suite side for just like a 12-inch deep cabinet or a closet for them, just for their bedroom linens and their bathroom linens. Like there's no reason they have to go outside even their bedroom suite now to get the stuff they need for that area. They don't have to go in the hall. So we gained so much space just by getting that angle out of there. It's kind of crazy.
And it's just funny. It's stuff like I think Scott came up with one day. I am assuming that everybody that watches LivLive know who Scott is. If not, just go back to one of his videos.
Go back to episode 000000002.
Yeah.
Or 30. I don't know.
There you go. Scott came up one day and he asked us like, okay, how do you guys come up with stuff like that? And there's holding points where we just like, that's one of our holding points, like angle wall. Like, why are we keeping this? Why do we need this angle wall? Like skylight. Okay, we need to keep the skylight. Columns. We need to keep the columns. So those are like general features that we pick, and then we start designing from there, which I do feel like it's on my comfort zone in a way, because starting something new when you have a blank page and you just just build a new construction, then that's, in my opinion, mind-blowing. I don't even know how to. It's just.
Maddy, do you have any thoughts on that, on designing new construction houses on an infinite lot?
Hard.
It's very hard.
So many possibilities.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can still say like, I want this, and this, but it's not a boundary. There's no restriction. Like I can go as big as I want to, depending on budget. But I would agree. I prefer working within an existing footprint, and having some set of boundaries.
Yeah, I think the guardrails are what make it really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of the story on the evolution of the home, and I don't know. I agree. I mean, that's why we do, we do occasional custom homes and new construction, but majority of what we do are remodels and additions. Additions are similar too, because you automatically have so many constraints in how the spaces connect, or even how stairs connect across floors. And Pyetra, I think you explained it really well in those. You have to start with those hold points. You have to figure out what criteria is mission critical. Now, we can change anything, but we have to be reasonable about it. And you guys set some really clear, value judgment rules from the beginning that says, yes, we can move windows and we can add windows and we can do stuff, but it better really be important. Otherwise, we're not going to have any money left for cabinets if we have to put windows through all this brick, or trace ends or removing columns.
And the other thing too, I was going to say, is the advantage of doing what we do as a design build is that, you can design everything, right? But is that actually buildable? Which is where I think we excel at, right? Is like, we can come up with some crazy idea and really fun designs, but if you're doing new construction, it's definitely a lot easier to build. If you're doing something that needs to tie into an existing structure like here, or into an existing stairs, it's like, okay, can we actually put this wall, 6 inches more towards the right, so we can squeeze in a column in here, right? And that kind of stuff is what I think all of us really enjoy about working on a design build, right? Is we got to figure out all that stuff too.
I think.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like the constraints of an existing home and working within an existing footprint, and even additions too, because we do have constraints there as well, is what makes these really special moments where we get to incorporate interest and in the past we've done like the nooks. Here you've emphasized the beams to utilizing a new interior design tool like the slat walls. But we continue to do this across all remodel projects that we've worked on, is we create these special moments that are just for this character of this home, or just for the lifestyle of this family. And that's why I think we really love working on projects like this too.
And it's a puzzle at the end of the day. Really is a puzzle. So this whole project started, Sara knows, and I believe Arthur might know a little bit, but like, at least for me, it started as a challenge. Like I was completely clueless. I told Sara I couldn't do it many times. And I was like, no, there's no way I can figure it out. This columns, there's no way this is going to look nice. There's no way this is, it turned out one of my favorite projects just because of the challenge and the puzzle and figuring out, and yeah. So.
Well, and I think you were saying in the beginning too, Pyetra, about the black, and Sara, that the homeowners like that black, darker color and feel. And I think that's part of the challenge too, right? Like you guys mentioned, it's how do we incorporate those dark colors without making the space feel smaller, right? Especially when it comes to bathrooms and bedrooms, and even here the transition and that walkaway is you have doing the slat wall is a great way to incorporate that color without putting a black wall with a black wallpaper. That just makes everything feel a lot smaller, right? So I think there are a lot of tricks that you guys use that are very, very successful on bringing that feeling that they like without, jeopardizing the quality of the space, right?
And
Heck yeah.
I could go on forever, because this project literally, like, it has so many different tricks that I had to use. Like, even one of our friends, though me and Dave like a lot, ChatGPT. I use it quite a bit, like, just to, I don't know, give me something, and then it was completely different than what I came up. It's all my idea, but it kind of like clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. So it's just ways of like using software features, or using website images, Pinterest, I don't know, using tools that we can to come up with stuff like that, because sometimes very stuck. And then
This was a perfect example. Dave, I don't know if you remember, but you used to have a little sign up near the printer hanging in the LivCo office. When I first started there, the creative cycle, like Pyetra went through it step by step, which is like, the creative process starts, this is awesome. Then it's, this is tricky. Then this is terrible. And then it's, I'm terrible. And then it goes to, well, this might be okay. And then it ends with, this is awesome. And this is totally where Pyetra went through the whole thing, like absolutely perfectly, because now it's like her favorite project.
The fun creative cycle.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
That's kind of, I'm trying to figure out where I am with the LivLive show in the creative cycle.
Oh,
I think I'm at the I am terrible. Wait, maybe this is okay. I think, wait, this is awesome. Well, guys, this is really cool. I think we're going to have to do this again and do this some more. You guys just ping me when you're like, we really want to share some crazy stuff we're working on. A lot of firsts on this one. I don't know that this is on Instagram. I can't really figure it out because
No, it wasn't live on Instagram. It's just on YouTube.
When I click on it, it says it's live, but it's not. It says you are live. So I don't really know. There's some stuff, some updates to StreamYard, but once we get that fixed, we'll be actually portrait mode on Instagram, which is cool. And now I do have a couple comments that I think I can share these. Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that.
There you go, Arthur.
You're famous, Arthur.
So we'll start to share comments too. And then from Facebook, our good friend, Wes Crockett. Thank you, Wes, for watching from Mahogany Builders in downtown Chicago. This is sweet. I don't know. Appreciate it. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, anything else you guys just want to add before we give our collective LivCo 10 out of 10 stamp of approval to this awesome design that Pyetra somehow crafted into something in this crazy house? Any other closing thoughts?
No.
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 I just
So
want
what's-
to now.
Good job,
I guess
Pyetra.
Yes.
Good job,
Awesome
Sara.
job. It's
And
really
Sara.
beautiful. What's next? That you guys got feedback from them? Are we have revisions to make? Are we going to DD?
Well, they just saw this for the first time, what, Friday?
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Cool.
Thursday. So yeah, it's very new. I will say it wasn't exactly on target with budget, so there will be some tweaks that need to be made, I'm sure. But I mean, overall, great feedback from the clients. Definitely, I think achieved all of their needs. They were really happy with the style, definitely something they couldn't imagine, which is one of the things we love to show people. And they were big DIYers. He did finish their whole basement. And he even said and he's kind of a creative guy too, and a very visual. So he said he had sketched this thing out. He couldn't figure out the columns. He really couldn't see how this was going to play out. And they were so thrilled. So we're excited. They're excited to get started in construction next year. So we're hoping for moving into DD pretty soon.
Well, I can't wait to get my hands on it and figure out how to.
And tell us that all of our
and
all of our structural assumptions were all wrong.
get yelled by you guys when I think we gotta move stuff.
We can always support anything somehow.
That's true.
It's not gonna be easy.
It's
Well,
just
and-
two
and
sticks
Sarah-
and a beam.
Yeah, that's it.
You just
I
got to
guess
figure out
there's
where they go
gravity.
down. Yeah.
As my brother, when I was in architecture school, he was in aerospace engineering, and I was really struggling in structures class, which architects basically just take basic structures, which is moment diagram. I don't even know what it is. I don't think I can do it anymore. That's why there's structural engineers. But my brother, I'm like, can you explain this to me? And he was just, this is basically 2+2 level stuff. This is statics. Nothing even moves.
Right.
It's no thermodynamics. There's no plasma. It's really that simple. So it's just a
It's
post
not
and a beam.
fluid dynamics, all that stuff.
There's gravity and things that sit
Going
on top
down.
of each other. Yeah, that's
The
it.
forces are all down. I guess wind, but still, it's just
But we still,
this.
yeah, we can conceptualize that. If we need to size it, we get our structural engineer buddies on the phone to draw the moment diagrams.
Yeah.
Before we close out here, because I know we're running a little long here anyway, and I know you guys in the design department are crazy busy. Sarah mentioned just the notes on budget, and for our watchers, listeners, I think it's important because this was concept A that we present to our clients, and then we talk through the budget. Say, well, it's not really 100% in line with their budget, with what they're trying to spend. There's a couple ways we can approach it. We can design to a budget and only go see how far we can get to achieve all those needs. But typically, at least for concept A, we say, let's come up with the best design within reason. You know, we're not trying to add a third floor or anything like that. And then understand how much we think that's going to cost. So first, let's do the design, understand the pieces and parts and what's driving that cost, talk through those anticipated costs in detail so we can understand, and then take that feedback and then do concept B. So the whole idea there is it's all on paper. So we haven't torn the house apart and then found out that something's crazy expensive. We're really trying to use the budget as a design tool, which I think this really isn't intended to be a LivCo ad or a design build ad, but that's really the whole idea of design build. We're not designing in a vacuum. We need to understand how we're going to build it. We need to understand what we think it's going to cost so that the client can make decisions based on that. And then we can get to the final solution as efficiently as possible. And then once we tear the house apart and make it awesome, we've already done the legwork on paper to understand what that means.
It's all about making educated decisions, right?
And
getting the info.
Normally concept A is always like there's a big wish list. So since you guys are here, why not do this? Since you guys are here, why not do that? And then it just starts to cut down what's more important, what's not, and all of that. And
we can phase it. We can do a bunch of stuff. More often than not, people just figure out a way to get some financing and do it all. They're like, if we're going to do this, let's do it. This is our house. This is our family. So let's make it what we would love it to be as we raise our kids here. Or some kids are graduated from college and they want them to come back and hang out at the house. So let's make it awesome.
Yep.
Very cool, guys. What'd you think? Was this kind of fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Can we
that.
go around the table and just give us like our scale of like our final comments or rate it?
Yeah,
1
let's
to
do
10?
it. Yeah.
I'll let
Scale
you lead it.
scale of 1 to 10. What do we
can I
got?
start? 10.
I knew that. I
You
knew
can't say
that.
10. It's going to boost Pyetra's ego too much. Let's say 9. 9 out of 10.
The reasons.
I'm curious to hear Dave and Maddy because they've never seen this. Arthur, I know you haven't seen it either, but you were around the office while it was being developed. So I feel like you had a little context and you saw it before we went in there. So Maddy, what did you think?
I think that you did an amazing job with the circulatory paths throughout the house by incorporating more shared space, by also delineating it and emphasizing the beams. I had to say a 10. I love that you got rid of that 45-degree walls throughout the house. That was nice.
Dave.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, the overall, obviously the presentation of it and the materials and the really thoughtful features, the intentional pieces of it are really strong. But overall, organizationally, I like walking through it. And so when we're designing, we're thinking how we're walking through this house and how the kids are walking through, or how you bring guests through. Like the focal points, everything is just really nice and thoughtful and really clean. So I give it a 10. I give it 11 if they were already in detailed design and said we want that.
Okay.
That doesn't happen. It happens more often than we would think it would happen, that people say, I want that, let's do it. But usually we just want a little bit more time to make sure we're playing out all the right decisions. Not to say that they're not going to say, I want this. It's like, well, maybe there's something else to explore here. And we just want to make sure we cover our options and see how that feels. So 10.5. There you go.
Nice.
How about you, Sarah?
Of course, I gave it 10 out of 10. It was awesome. It was awesome. And every time I looked at it, I'm like, we're not going to figure this out. This is crazy. This is crazy. But then, Pyetra forced me. She's like, no, we need to talk about this. We got there.
My way of like designing is talking. So like I talk a lot. I think getting feedback from like, okay, what if we do this? And then it's just some crazy random ideas, and it works, you know. We came up with stuff together sometimes, or by myself.
You have a very fun job.
Yeah, we do.
Mhm.
And then maybe, I don't know, just inviting myself for the next one, but like potentially this could happen again because now we're designing a turret, and then I'm currently in the I'm a horrible designer phase. So
I will
Oh,
say,
gotcha.
I will say that
Yeah, turrets
if
are
you,
not really good. Sorry.
if you want to do this again, the house that we're designing that has a turret in it would definitely be a great LivLive episode because that one has
For
a
sure.
lot of challenges.
yeah.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Turret
right?
house.
Stay tuned.
Always something new. No,
Gotta like
no
and
two
subscribe,
LivCo
right?
projects. Yeah, like and subscribe. No two LivCo projects are ever the same.
What'd you say?
Um,
Hit the bell button so you
hit
know
the
when
bell
that
button.
episode's coming up.
That's right. Well, thanks for doing this, guys. Really appreciate it. Really beautiful work. This was fun. See you soon.
Thanks, Dave.
Cool. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Awesome.
Right.
See
Bye.
ya.